This is Real Talk with Joel, Gatlin, and Hayden on The Wire, OU Student Radio.
How does it feel to be 21?
I tell you what, it feels, well, okay, I'll be real. Monday was kind of a crazy day around here. It was raining, had a lot of tests, so it really felt like another day. But you know, school's about out, so I'm ready to see some family and eat some good food and just celebrate a birthday. So.
Lovely.
And you turned 21, right?
I'm 21.
And what was the biggest part of your day at 21? What did you do for your 21st birthday?
Pancakes.
Pancakes?
No joke.
Where at?
Half a 3-stack at IHOP. Like, that was it. It was great though. I went with my dad and my brother. We got some pancakes and went back and did some homework. So
nice.
that was 21 for me.
Way to celebrate a 21st birthday.
Yeah,
man.
It was crazy. Let me tell you.
Tell you what though, I mean, definitely a crazy week, but it's been pretty warm. It's been pretty warm this week.
My pasty white neck is kind of red today, so.
Oh, that's when you know it's coming. That's when you know spring, summer's rolling through.
Spring is in the air and the sunburn is on the skin.
That's and I've already gotten some allergies too, so that's absolutely lovely. But due to this weather. But let's move on. We have some stuff to talk about today. Obviously, today we have a huge show going on for you guys. After missing a whole week of movies, it hurt me. I was really depressed. I was like, you know. So I'd like to be out of school, but in this rare occasion, I'd like to be.
So what Joel's saying is our show's going to be 4 hours today.
Yeah, 4 hours. We're going to go full 4 hours to make up for ours. No, I'm kidding. But we do have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to have some call-in segments later on today. I mean, we're going to have some things to discuss, get some people to talk on the phone with us, obviously. We got a lot of news, obviously, to talk about. Talk Movies opening this weekend, too. We got 2 big movies, I feel like, are opening this week. And we have a guest today. And that guest is a co-host for This and That on Friday. Every Friday.
Jeremy.
From one. No, it's not Jeremy.
What?
It is Keegan Meenagh.
Okay, that would explain a lot. I was really.
Hello.
This is not Jeremy. This is Keegan. Hi guys.
Hello, Keegan.
How you doing, Keegan?
It's weird being over in the guest section of the radio booth when I'm usually over where Hayden's sitting at.
That's what Real Talk does. We bring perspective.
Yeah, it's opening my eyes to a whole new world, I guess you'd say. But super cool to be here. Really glad to talk about movies and stuff.
Fantastic.
You're in a world.
In a world where 3 men decided to make a radio show. 3 guys.
Wait,
did
this
that
guy should have
thing.
done it. Sorry,
maybe we should. Maybe
It's
we should
funny
have got Keegan to do a
because
voiceover instead of Ben.
When Ben would do, me and Ben would have voiceover wars in our writing class. Were you there that day?
I'm pretty sure I was. I probably heard you guys go back and forth with your radio voices.
I think we could make a good duo.
Yeah, it'd be really good. I wouldn't see you guys host a show, whatever. But talk about your show, man. Tell us about your show. It's on every Friday?
This and That. We used to be on Wednesdays, but this semester we've moved to Fridays from 1 to 3 p.m., and we're a variety talk show. We usually have a musical guest or an artist, a director, a film guy, something kind of artsy person as our guest. And we talk about weird news stories throughout the world. We have a Beer of the Week segment, but pretty much what we enjoy is the random, incoherent responses that we make from one another. And apparently people like it, and they listen. So
I was on the show a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was really fun. Obviously, that was before we even that was right after our first show. But when I was in there, it was really fun to see how Jeremy and Keegan go back and forth on some of their comedy and some of the funny news that they bring up.
Can you give us a sneak peek of the Beer of the Week?
Actually, it hasn't been decided yet. If you want to pick the Beer of the Week, you can go to our Facebook page and submit one.
Yeah,
so
go ahead and like their page.
Facebook.com/this-and-that-wire. Not and, but the letter N. This and that wire.
Root beer is my favorite.
That was actually the first beer. The first beer of the week was root beer. Actually,
that's funny.
The guest selected root beer.
That's a good play on words. I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keegan, we're here to talk movies with you, man.
I'm looking forward.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready to talk movies with us? Because we are definitely ready. But let's go ahead and just talk about a little bit of the semester this year. How has this semester been for you? It's not movie related.
Or it can be if your semester's involved a lot of movies.
It's a lot easier than it was last semester, I guess you could say. It's probably one of the easier semesters I've had, mainly because the classes I have are longer, but there are fewer classes. I have 2 classes that are 3 hours each that meet twice a week.
Yeah.
And then I obviously have The Wire, which is only 50 minutes, but the 2-hour show. But I also have like this women's gender studies classes like 3 times a week, and it's super, super easy.
Okay, so tying that back into movies, would you rather see a film that's longer and have less films, or watch more films that are shorter?
Oh, it depends on if I like the film or not.
That's a good point.
Speaking of movies, did you have a favorite 2014 movie?
2014.
The past year.
I really loved Grand Budapest Hotel. I
Yeah.
thought that was a great
I
film.
won a lot of awards.
I know. I actually was listening to your guys' show in Phoenix when you
Yeah.
guys were talking about
Representing in Phoenix.
Hey, yeah. Speaking of Phoenix, I see a little scar there on the hand.
this. Yeah, I went traveling with the OU baseball team to go shoot their webcast for Sooners Vision, and I didn't really know any of the players. I didn't know any of the staff, so I'm kind of like the odd man out, the black sheep of the group. So we take the charter bus to the airport, flew to Phoenix, and then we got our bags in Phoenix. And as soon as we got to the charter bus, I was putting my equipment at the bottom of the bus under in the luggage compartment, and I hit the roof of it and like hit some kind of metal and sliced open my knuckle.
Oh.
30 minutes after we arrived. So I kept the bus full of players, and the coaching staff like delayed half an hour. They called the medics. They told
Wow.
me, yeah, I'm going to need to get stitches.
Man.
And apparently, I talked to Coach Hughes, the head baseball coach, the other day.
They're gonna give you a scholarship.
No, but he was like,
Oh.
the trainer went with me, the strength coach, and he's like, we'll just take a cab to the hotel. And I guess the coach goes, no way, OU baseball, no man left behind, even if I don't know his name. So they waited like half an hour. I got on the bus, and everybody kind of gave me like a standing ovation. And then later on, I went to the ER and got stitches.
Everyone clapping. It's like, wait, what was his name again?
They
Keegan.
didn't-
Keegan.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
It was interesting, but it was a weird trip being the only guy going. But the benefit of it was I ended up having one of my shots in SportsCenter's top 10 plays
Okay.
of the week.
Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty intense.
Story on that. I was sitting in Waxahachie, Texas, watching SportsCenter, eating some cereal, and I see a baseball shot, and I was like, that's a cool shot. And then I get on Facebook, and right there is my friend Keegan talking about
Being on
his
Sports
shot
It
on
was cool.
SportsCenter, and I had a
Yeah.
total fangirl moment right
It
there.
was like the last thing you'd expect to get a top 10.
Yeah.
Because you think like major broadcast, it was one of those like almost like home video top 10s. But they were like, yeah, Keegan, be on the lookout. Apparently, we were also Fox Sports' The One that day, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
That's
Fox
awesome.
Sports, the one on
So-
Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, pretty much. So that made the trip worth it. But it was funny because I had a little like metal like splint thing to keep so I couldn't like bend my hand.
Right.
Flip it
So I had
around off.
like my middle fingers sticking out everywhere. People thought I was flipping them off, but I had to carry all this equipment, and I only had one good hand. But that kind of made the trip worth it.
I almost asked you, what does the other guy look like before you asked that story.
Yeah, you should have seen his
Man,
face.
You should have been like, yeah, I was fighting one of Scorpions.
This
in
giant
Arizona.
bear came out
The
of
last
Bears
nowhere.
in
baseball
Arizona.
player says something to me.
Bears in Arizona, guys. They do
I
exist.
took a hand to the bat.
Speaking of cereal, I mean, what's your favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal is either honeycomb or
that's good.
cinnamon life cereal.
Cinnamon
Cinnamon
Life.
Life.
Oh,
I've never heard it.
I've
Who-
never
who
had
makes
it.
Is that an Alaskan thing? or
no,
it's-
life,
Life,
like with the
Life,
Quaker
Life.
guy on
Oh, cinnamon. Okay,
it.
like
Life, it's the
cereal.
cinnamon flavor.
Yeah,
Or honey-
I thought it was cinnamon life. I was
No,
like,
no,
is
like
that like
cinnamon
a
flavored life
okay,
cereal.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never had that.
Or
either.
cinnamon toast crunch. It's
Oh,
the
that
taste
sounds-
you can see.
They're,
That is right.
they're coming back. They're making
my
a comeback.
favorite.
All right, Keegan, I have a couple more questions for you.
Absolutely.
All right, so you talked about your favorite movie 2014. Did you have any like funny theater experiences, or was it just a normal year in the movies? Because usually when I ask people this, they always have that one experience at the movie theater. They're always like, I hated that one, or I thought that was funny. What was yours?
Well, like when I first moved here back in 2011, I went to the Warren quite a bit.
Oh,
2011, 2012, actually both of my birthdays those years, and 2013 I went to the Warren to go see a movie. Last year I didn't go to as many. Well, actually no, we did. I went almost all summer. We did like a summer movies thing. The movie I didn't like the most, I guess, that I saw in theaters was Godzilla. Did not like that.
yeah.
And I
Oh,
can give
man.
you a long list of reasons why I didn't like it.
Loved the one last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but
Mixed
a
reviews.
really great movie that I saw. I'd never been to an IMAX until I saw Interstellar
Oh, good choice.
At the
Good
Warren?
choice.
at the Warren.
choice.
That's cool.
And apparently, there's like the Warren has one of the largest IMAX. It's one of the largest in the country, or there's some kind
Yeah,
of.
in
They're
the
one of the
country,
largest
the world,
in some
probably.
sort of capacity.
It was
But
awesome.
Pretty
I've never
awesome.
been in there before, and I saw that movie, and I was like, "This is amazing."
You know what movies I'm going to decide to see there? Star Wars and most likely the Avengers. But
I was gonna say
that is a good segue. This is a good
I got
segue.
a comrade in here. On this.
We got two people in the studio right now who are not a fan of the Avengers. They have different
Commies.
opinions.
We're high fiving right now.
All right.
Commies.
What's the deal with the
Woo!
Avengers, Keegan? What's your beef with the
For
Avengers?
me, it's just a summer blockbuster
Yes.
film. there's no story really. It's you get all these. Oh my gosh, you got Iron Man and Captain America. You got all these stories that are connected, but you got to make it so general based.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but it doesn't make you a good director if half of your movie is CGI and you got 10,000 guys making the CGI stuff.
The entire film is a cameo. That's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a fun popcorn flick for Saturday morning that like, has limits in story, but it was really just meant to bring all those heroes together, and obviously everyone has their different opinions about it. I mean, but are you like even are you going to give them another chance this year? I know the Avengers too. This year.
The only way I'm going to see the new Avengers movie if it's on DVD and I'm at a friend's house and
Or
they're
Netflix.
playing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm never going to. I mean, I don't like the new Transformers movies.
Oh,
I've
I
only
hate 'em.
seen Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man 3.
Ooh,
I haven't
bad.
seen any of the other of those.
See, the first Iron Man was amazing. I loved the first Iron Man, and the second Captain America was pretty good too.
I like the first one. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a big Christopher Nolan guy.
Yeah, so even
So the Batman series was amazing.
yeah,
Interstellar was amazing.
Phenomenal.
Memento, The
Inception.
Prestige, Inception.
Insomnia.
Those kind of movies that kind of like make you think.
Yeah.
Movies that make you think are movies that I
Cerebral
really.
movies. That's usually what he
Donnie
goes for.
Darko's a good movie though it wasn't from from Christopher Nolan, but
right.
movies that were like Fight Club, those kind of films where you're like, oh my goodness,
Mind blowing.
and then you watch it again, you're like, that makes so much sense now.
So I'm
Incredibles.
guessing you're a bigger DC guy than Marvel, or is it just
I mean,
the movies?
Batman just was just like dark and it had a
Yeah.
great story.
I loved it.
The third one,
Goosebumps.
the third one wasn't my favorite. The Dark Knight was the best of the
Yep.
three. I
Agree.
thought.
Yeah, my
It's a
favorite comic book
standalone
movie.
film. I mean, it
Yes.
really can hold its own outside of the genre.
What's his face? The late
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. He did a great role as the Joker.
Oh man, fantastic.
And
It's unfortunate.
you know that scene where they're at the hospital, he's pushing the button.
Oh, I
That
love
was
that.
improvised.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
all
supposed to.
improvised, yeah.
I mean, that just makes great acting. And
Mhm.
just, but the only thing I didn't like about that movie was you thought it was over, and there's like a whole other 45
Yeah,
minutes.
you're like, oh, it could have ended here.
But the thing is,
Right.
I still enjoyed it
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. It's my favorite comic book movie of all time.
yeah.
And the thing that it was kind of interesting how ironic it was that the Avengers movie Marvel Universe thing started like really kicked off right after the Batman series ended. Like both the Avengers and the Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012. So one was ending and another one was beginning. And now DC's getting on the bandwagon. They're making their own movies. And so I mean there's going to be plenty to talk about there. But Keegan, what do you I mean I know I already asked you this, but you're a big DC guy or a Marvel guy or
Well, growing up as a kid, I didn't really know the difference.
Yeah.
I just like superheroes, but Batman was my
Oh,
favorite. He
Batman's
was the one I
awesome.
watched most as a kid on TV.
right, the series, the animated series. Oh,
Yeah, the
perfection.
from the 90s
It was
was the great
perfection.
one. And I used to own the movie, the Mask of Phantasm.
That was a good
That was
movie too. Yeah,
from the original series.
Yeah.
That was just like my childhood.
it
I
was
had
so
a
intense.
so many Batman
Yeah,
action figures growing up. I had Batman figures and Legos.
Kevin Conroy's my Batman.
All right, Keegan. Here's a question I like to ask our guest. If they could get any actor to play you in a movie, who would be Keegan?
Zach Galifianakis.
I can
That's
see that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's lost he's lost a lot of weight
Maybe
too
a
for
thin,
some movies.
a
Yeah,
thinner.
But he also fits the personality. I
and
think,
he was a
too.
little slim in not Whiplash, Birdman.
I recently just saw that too.
Birdman's really good too.
I heard you guys talking about it, and
Mhm.
you mentioned that it was like one. It made it look like it was like one shot.
yeah,
So I watched it with my dad, and I didn't like it.
you don't like it that much.
It was cool, like
Yeah,
the
It
cinematography,
was
like
good
the
style.
fact you couldn't see the camera in the mirrors. I thought that was cool.
yeah,
And it made it, but like it
Yeah,
was weird.
yeah.
It was weird.
I agree. I watched it last week.
It's one of those weird movies that definitely like it's just winning really based off of its style.
Didn't really deserve. I
It
think,
has
picture
it
of the
has a
year.
good.
That's
style.
what frustrates
What
me
was
about
what was your
awards.
pick if you had to pick? What was your best picture of 2014? I know you'd probably,
Probably
your favorite was
Grand Budapest
Interstellar.
Hotel.
Yeah.
I just like Wes Anderson's style is very unique. How everything's symmetric.
And his comedy. the
People
comedy.
run from left to right. It's very colorful,
Yeah,
and there's always like a story within a story within a story.
Yeah.
And there's always these fake names or these fake places, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I thought it was well put.
so that was your favorite Wes Anderson.
I guess, yeah.
I loved Moonrise Kingdom though.
I saw that one
Moonrise
too.
Kingdom's amazing.
It was a little strange for me.
It's very strange.
very
fact that there's
strange.
But
like
that's
a-
Wes
like a
Anderson. That's
9-year-old
part of Wes
Two
Anderson. though.
9-year-olds are kind of like kissing
Yeah.
and stuff. That
That's-
was kind of strange to
Was
me.
there's some blood in there too.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the we're not gonna try. Well, it's been out for what? How long?
Like
4 years.
something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the part whenever the poor dog, man, the poor dog, and they just threw it off like almost. They're like, oh, poor dog. Pretty much. It's like the tone of it and the comedy. It's just pretty funny.
You know, Wes Anderson, he loves sliders and he loves dollies because everything's on a track. It seems.
Yeah, he does. And he does these fast zooms sometimes too.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's like planned perfectly.
Yeah.
It just zooms in.
Like I can think of his shots being like two people looking down on something like, oh, that's unfortunate, and the camera zooms out so quickly, and then that's Wes Anderson style. But that's something really cool that he has different. But also later today, I mean, before we go to our break, I know we still got plenty to talk about. But Keegan, I have one more question for you. What movie are you looking forward to 2015?
You know, I haven't. You know, actually, it's probably Star Wars.
Yeah, as we all agreed. We all agreed. I agreed with Star Wars. I mean, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for years. How do you feel about the prequels?
As a kid, I thought
They were good. Yeah.
no. Well, people give me crap, but I loved the Phantom Menace.
Thank you. Keegan and I are the same person. I love the Phantom Menace.
Now
When Darth Maul came out with his two-sided lightsaber,
Every fantasy I ever had in Star Wars,
I lost my mind.
I would lay in bed at night and think, man, how could I tape two lightsabers
I
together?
love Darth Maul, but I wish he had more talking. I wish he was on more. That's why I'm like the Count Dooku thing. I'm like, you could have easily just put him out and put in Darth Maul.
That Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The Clone Wars, it was kind of slow until like the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the Revenge of the Sith was good, but Phantom Menace was just because I was like 6 years old.
Well, here's the way I think Attack of the Clones went down. There was a huge meeting. George Lucas was right there, and he's like, okay, here's my idea for the movie.
Well, let me see
Hundreds of Jedi fighting. We'll figure out the rest.
Let's have hundreds of Jedi's fight right here, and we'll see what comes up. I'm
It's-
just trying my best.
it's
I
funny.
think it's not a good idea.
It's funny. I went to Ireland over the Christmas break, and we went to this college in Dublin called Trinity College, and they have this library. And apparently, the library on Coruscant, the Jedi Council library, those big halls, was based off that library.
That's awesome.
And
That's pretty
apparently,
cool.
George Lucas asked the college, "Hey, can I like take some shots and can we film
Oh,
in here?"
sure.
And he said, they said no.
What?
So
Yeah,
he
I
hired
like
people.
it.
He hired people and drew diagrams of the entire place, and then just recreated it. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That's
But
genius.
you can't turn down George Lucas. I mean, you can say the prequels are good or bad, but I wouldn't turn down George Lucas if he wanted to film somewhere near me. But all right, let's move on to some news, guys. First things first, we have some news for Tron. These are all coming from ScreenRant.com. Tron 3 going into production fall of 2015. How
Coolest
do you guys feel
soundtrack
about
ever.
that?
They made a Tron 2?
Yeah, it was a Legacy.
Yeah.
Tron Legacy counts as
Oh,
the second
that's
one.
the sequel?
They count that as the sequel, yeah.
Oh.
Because it's in the same continuity.
I considered it a reboot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
considered it a reboot
Same
too. So
here.
when I first saw it, I was like, Tron 3, what the heck, what was the second one? But yeah, I mean, Tron 3, how did you guys feel about the previous Tron Legacy?
I mean, I like Jeff Daniels, and I feel like from that movie on, he's been making.
Wasn't that Jeff Bridges?
Jeff Bridges, my bad.
I like Jeff Daniels
Jeff
too, though.
Daniels
Jeff
is from
Daniels is
Dumb and
cool,
Dumber.
too,
I get
yeah.
my Jess mixed up.
Win
They
Dixie.
confuse me sometimes, but then he made Crazy Heart, I believe, right after that, and then since then he's just been on fire. And I like, I think his name's Garrett Hedlund. Is that the actor?
I
that-
can't remember him, but I do remember Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde. And that's a movie I feel like that broke her out.
I don't know
So-
if they're gonna bring her back. I mean, I can't remember if she was like if she made it through the movie or died. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. But hey,
I
what
just
do you
want to
think?
know. I just want to know if Jeff Bridges is gonna have a beard in this one. It seems like that's kind of his new character. There's like
Jeff Bridges has to. Have a beard.
early Jeff Bridges was like beardless, and then like the old Jeff Bridges.
He looks so different
It's
too.
like a part of his face.
He looks
now.
so different. I'm
His
like,
voice has changed too. It's
Yeah.
all raspy.
Yeah,
it's all raspy.
Did you see the commercial with him in the Super Bowl?
Dreams or whatever.
Yeah, he's got some weird website for like sleep music.
Yeah.
So strange.
And the beard's all over, man.
I'm the dude.
But I never saw the original Tron, so
Yeah,
Tron
same here.
Legacy was kind of like it was like a new ride for me. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, wow, I'm so blown away by the new Tron movie.
It was the original Tron was I believe the first film to use actual CGI.
I
Actual
believe that's
computer
correct.
generated
I believe
and that's why
correct.
we bring this guy around right here, and because he doesn't like the Avengers. So
Yeah, and Phantom Menace was great.
You enjoyed the Phantom Menace, but not the Avengers. I
makes
cannot
sense,
let that go. I'm kidding. All right, so next up on news, we have Tim Burton. Man, this guy's in everything Disney related. He is set to direct a live action version of Dumbo.
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
Dumbo?
Like, is Dumbo gonna be CGI? And
He's
everybody
gonna
else?
have to be CGI. I mean, he's a giant elephant.
Or is Tim Burton gonna be in the Dumbo costume? I'd watch that.
No, it's probably gonna be Johnny Depp.
I didn't even want. I didn't
pull
even,
it off.
I didn't
Johnny
even
Depp's
watch.
in every Tim Burton movie.
I didn't
now.
even watch Alice in Wonderland because it looked too Tim Burtonish to me. This new one he
It
made.
was weird.
So
Honest-
I don't know if it was good or
I
I
not.
don't
regret
think
it.
I've seen anything by Tim Burton.
You haven't seen Nightmare Before
Beetlejuice.
Christmas? Well,
Nope.
that wasn't
I've
him
only
actually.
seen parts of Beetlejuice.
Keegan and I are seriously the same person. Like, this is not even funny.
It's scaring me.
It
a
is
bit. It really is
hilarious.
scaring me.
But,
But
see, the thing is, you know everything, and Hayden knows.
Jack Squat. I'm kidding.
No, Hayden knows.
Maybe I should
He's
just
trying
like
to find a nice way to say nothing. That's really
No,
what
no,
it-
no, because well, earlier he asked
You
me,
guys
is
keep-
Argo, is Fargo the sequel to Argo? And I was like, Hayden.
Hey,
No.
Going
hey,
back to Iran.
Yeah, but Tim Burton, I mean, this guy has been doing a lot of Disney movies for them, live action stuff too. I didn't enjoy Alice in Wonderland at all, but
The
you know.
Batman's Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah,
You did see Tim Burton.
that doesn't count.
What about Batman Returns with Catwoman? Did you see that one?
I saw the one with Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze.
Batman and Robin,
with,
Joel
was it
Schumacher.
Was it
Val
Val Kilmer?
Kilmer.
Yeah.
No, Val Kilmer was Batman Forever.
Oh,
George
George
Clooney
Clooney
was
was
Batman.
George
and Robin.
Clooney.
That's one of the trivia questions we
Honestly-
had 2 weeks ago that got you guys. You're like, who was the most nominated Oscar
Where
Batman?
is he?
It's George Clooney, not Christian Bale.
Where's the trigger? Rachel.
Where's the
Rachel.
trigger?
Did you see Neighbors? Where there's like, I'm
Yeah.
a Michael Keaton Batman. Well, I'm a Christian Bale Batman.
That's funny. I like that movie too. Hey, that's a good preview too, because today we're also talking comedies. But that's more later on the show. Still, we have some more news to talk about. Chris Pine, rumored to beat the next Hal Jordan, and that's another Green Lantern DC rumor going around.
How many?
Wait,
How
Ryan,
many more people?
Ryan Reynolds wasn't good enough? Is that?
No, he's gonna be Deadpool again.
Wait,
yeah.
who is? Okay, so who is our?
Ryan
Green
Reynolds
Lantern?
was Green Lantern.
Okay, that's what. Okay, gotcha.
He's
But
going
was-
back to Marvel though.
See, yeah, I mean, Chris Pratt would have been the perfect person for this role. I
But
think
But
he
he's
should have
Star-Lord.
bridged
And
the
he's
genre.
Indiana Jones.
He should have. That's what I'm saying. Just do everything. That's
What?
Andy Dwyer.
You mean Indiana Jones?
He might do it. It's a rumor. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. But
I
I
also
don't.
put in my application. So that's just. A
So you want to be Indiana Jones or do you want to be
I want to be Shia
Hal
LaBeouf
Jordan?
from Indiana Jones
Shia
4.
LaBeouf. Oh yeah, the teenager.
The one we don't talk about.
The teenage actor. Yeah. But Chris Pine was obviously in a lot of comedies, been in Star Trek. Yeah.
He was in Horrible Bosses too.
Yeah.
Excellent in that movie.
I actually just recently watched that too.
I thought the first one was a little better, but
I
like
disagree.
both. I,
I
like both.
mean, I don't hate both. I don't
it
hate
was
either.
it was a good sequel.
I like Star Trek.
You
I
didn't,
do
you
like
don't know how they were going to go there, and they went there, and it still
It's
worked.
Charlie Day, right? The one with the high pitched
Yes.
voice. Yeah. I thought he was pretty funny.
I sit in the middle.
He's pretty
No.
funny. He's pretty funny with everything he
Day
says.
man, fighter of the night man.
I haven't seen the film, but my hat does go off to anybody with a high pitched voice. I struggle in here, guys. You have no idea. Anytime I get excited, I'm like.
He's probably
let's
one
keep it low.
person. He's probably one person that can be proud of a voice crack. 'Cause it just makes him funnier.
And
My
the-
favorite actress or actor in the entire
gonna try
in
it.
both films, Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, who wouldn't agree with that?
So that's
She hasn't aged in like ever.
Yeah.
She was born that way.
I
She was
still
born that way.
She's
I
like
still
Lady
feel
Gaga.
like
Lady
I have
Gaga.
I still feel like I have a chance. I don't know. But give me like 5 years.
You
she'll still
gotta
look the
you gotta
same.
make you
When
gotta
she's
make
70, you still have a chance. When she's 112, you still have a chance.
when you make you gotta make
So
way
you're
for
telling
Los
me
Angeles.
there's a chance.
You told me there's a chance. It's another comedy, right?
Yes, it's
That's
my,
Dumb and
my
Dumber.
Dumb
comedy
and Dumber.
puns tonight.
Oh yeah.
My
We all
comedy
have our
puns.
top 5 comedies lined up for later tonight. Actually, this is not news. This is just related to well, this is news, but it's not. It's been like 2 weeks. But we didn't get a chance to talk about this last week, and it's unfortunate. But you know, we all saw the news about Leonard Nimoy passing. Just
Galvatron.
Nimoy. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like we all have different perspectives on what he was representing in our childhood and stuff like that. But he's obviously known mostly for being Spock. Live long and prosper. But quick thoughts, guys. I mean,
We
it's
lost a
obviously,
legend.
this is obviously a sad thing, but you know, he was a part of everybody's childhood. Different ages too. I mean, the '60s and '70s being Spock. I mean, you said Galvatron.
He was Galvatron in
Transformers.
1986's Transformers film,
Exactly.
one of my favorite cartoon films of all time.
And here's another one that's really random, and I think this is something that not very popular, but for me, it was like a video game, Kingdom Hearts. He was voicing.
Oh, was he?
He was in
that?
Kingdom Hearts. He was voicing Master Xehanort, one
Really?
of the major villain in the entire series, and I was really sad to see him pass because he was so good. He's such a great voice actor. He can do almost anything, and he's such a good guy too. When he latches onto projects, he really brings in the heart. No matter how old he is, or no matter what kind of project it is, he gives his all, and that's something really inspiring, I think. I mean, but Hayden, what do you think, man? What's your thoughts?
I grew up. Star Trek really has a really attachment to my memory. I remember growing up, that was like my dad and I show. My dad grew up watching it, and so I watched how many? There are 3 seasons of the original series.
Yeah.
So I mean, we watched a lot of those episodes. I think it was Wednesday nights at 9:30, 9. So like we'd get home from church and like we'd sit down and watch Star Trek, and I was like 11, 12 years old, and that was like the coolest thing. That was like bonding time. So Leonard Nimoy, when I think of him, that's automatically what comes to mind.
Yeah.
And good Star Trek movies. Those were actually
the Star Trek
not
original
bad
ones.
films at all,
Yeah.
except the whale one. That
The first one actually scared me. I actually had to go to therapy. I
Really?
kid you not.
now
The-
which one's the first? I'm trying to think.
The
That was
one
a motion
with
picture.
V'ger, the bald robot girl.
Oh, yeah,
I was like 9 or 10, and I saw that, and she scared the crap out of me. And then I had like this giant phobia of dying all of a sudden, and like my mom was so concerned, and so I went to a therapist like one time, and then my dad's like, he doesn't need a single therapist. He just,
Now you don't fear
Just
death.
have a nightmare.
You fear no death.
I still have to go watch it just to like face my fear.
good
Because
run.
that movie scared me so much.
Yeah.
This is actually a group therapy session. That's actually why we're
Thanks,
all here.
guys. I'm glad you guys.
But
could
no,
take me.
called us.
but no, Gatlin. What about you?
All right. The thing is, I'm a big Star Wars fan, but
Yeah.
my dad tried to make me a Trekkie one time in my life, and
Did it work?
It worked for my sister. She was a Potter fan, and then she became a Trekkie, but she
It's an
never.
easy transition.
Yeah, I don't get how that works, but Leonard Nimoy to me symbolizes the Star Trek franchise.
Mhm.
I mean, you have Captain Kirk and him, and I always think Leonard Nimoy, and I think Leonard Nimoy is Spock, and Captain Kirk is.
Kirk.
William Shatner.
Thank you, and William Shatner.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
him were like they've always done things together. And the thing is, Leonard Nimoy, like y'all have already said, this is to be redundant. He brings everything he
Legitimacy,
has to
yeah.
it. In those the last movie he was in, Star Trek. If it wasn't for him, I feel like that they couldn't even win that.
And
way
I was
with
so
it.
happy when he was in that one because I really felt like he was finally passing the torch off.
Yeah,
And he knew
yeah,
he
Zach
knew
Quintana.
that he needed to pass that respect on,
Exactly.
so that people will gravitate to Zachary Quintino.
Yeah, Zach Quintana,
Zach Quintana,
whatever his name
yeah.
is. But
But
the
he-
last thing I will say about Leonard Nimoy, I will always remember the line from Step Brothers when he wakes up from his bad dream, like Keegan's had before, and he says, "I'll kill you, Leonard Nimoy."
Oh, that was it.
That was what he says when he's like,
Oh.
when Will Ferrell wakes up from his bad.
Oh
Bad
man,
nightmare.
God, I did not. I watched that movie and I was like, wait, what did he say? Because you said it so quickly and I had to go back and watch it. I'm like, oh.
Well, it's like the clown has no, and then
yeah.
I'll kill you, Leonard Nimoy, and then I was like, what?
I'm like, why would you? Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
Leonard
fine.
Nimoy's had a fantastic career, and
Fantastic life.
Yeah, and a fantastic life too.
You ever
Just
see that video of him when
good
he
individual.
sings a song about Bilbo Baggins?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's so funny too.
He's dressed up
He's
like
got a sense of
Spock.
humor, yeah.
Bilbo.
That was like a hit, I think.
He's got a.
In
he's-
this like 70s, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just got a good sense of humor and something you really can admire as I love I love her
Spock has
anything.
emotions.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing too. For a character that didn't have very many emotions, we all connected to him one way or the other.
Guys, this segment we have a special guest with us, none other than the legendary Jeremy Deere. Jeremy, how you doing today, sir?
How's it going?
We're doing good in here. I think we'd rather be outside enjoying the weather, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Jeremy, we have a quick question for you here before we do anything else. You're kind of our you're kind of our unofficial tiebreaker here. We're having a little bit of debate. Keegan and I really feel like the Avengers is lame, not a very good film. But then we've got Joel and Gatlin in here, and they're the fanboys. They're feeling like it's
I'm not a fanboy, I just
basically the greatest
I
film
like
of
it too.
2013. So Jeremy, no pressure here, but you are a tiebreaker. So
Well, before we get to that, who else is on the line? Who am I on the show with?
Yeah, you're on with Joel and Gatlin and Hayden
And Keegan.
and Keegan is here.
I don't know if do you know Keegan?
Hey, you know what today is?
What's today?
Today is Wednesday, March 11th, the 70th day of 2015.
And you're listening to Real Talk with Gatlin, Joel, and Hayden.
You are doing that.
I see. How do you guys know each other? It's interesting.
He's my co-host on my show, this and that, every Friday from 1 to 3.
There's the shameless plug.
Uh,
There it is. Okay, Jeremy.
honestly, the Avengers. I like some of the heroes in the Avengers, but as a whole movie, as I don't. I just gotta say I don't get it.
There it is.
I don't see what the hype is. I mean, like
Okay, yeah.
Is the one with the. I'm sorry, you got to school me. Which heroes are the Avengers?
So the Avengers has got like Captain America,
Iron Man,
the lady that shoots the guns,
The Hulk.
Scarlet.
Yeah,
Captain America.
I love the Hulk. Growing up, I was a big fan of the Hulk.
Awesome.
I won't lie. I really like that first Hulk film, the one with it's not Eric. Who's the
Edward
Bruce
Norton?
Banner. Not Bruce Banner. That's the name of
Edward
the character.
Norton?
What's his
And
name?
Edward
Eric
Norton?
Bana. Eric.
No, there was one in 2004 too, directed by
it was
Ang
Edward
Lee.
Norton, right?
No, that was a different one.
Eric Bana
Oh.
played the Hulk.
Eric
in
Bana.
Eric
2000.
Bana.
Well,
Eric Bana
I-
played the
I
04.
personally like the Hulk, and I like Iron Man and Captain America. I don't know, but together, as the whole movie series, as the way they put it together, storyline-wise, I do appreciate how they kind of tied each individual movie in together, and then pulled it together as the Avengers. You know, you got Captain America, Iron Man, and then later in the years they put them all together. So, I think that aspect of the whole series and the movies and everything, it's one of those things, that actually turned out pretty good. But I'm not really that big into DC, right?
That's
Yes.
Marvel.
No, is it Marvel?
Yeah.
See, that's what
Is
I'm
it
trying to
Marvel?
find out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
Marvel.
one or the other. I don't know.
No, I'm glad to hear that Jeremy is in the right here. He's on the right side of this one. Joel and Gatlin, I'm sorry.
It's
You
all
guys
right.
are just
Yeah.
We're not communists. Y'all are communists.
So, Jeremy, how do you listen to our show? Like, do you listen to it online or what's it called, Hayden?
tune in.
Man, tune in all the way, man.
Tune in. Yeah.
Apple or Android. You can search. Is that just search your student radio?
Yeah, if you search your student radio, you can find the station.
Because there's like 4 or 5 50 wires. So
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Correct
so
Mundo.
search your student radio and
Or
we should
you
pop
can
right
search
up.
the way I found it the first time, and it's gotten a lot easier since I guess a semester ago to find that on TuneIn. But both ways are great to listen to you guys, man. I mean,
Well,
I'm gonna have to listen.
and Jeremy, I will say this. Jeremy and Keegan have kind of been the inspiration for our Facebook page here.
Yeah, been carrying us through quite a bit.
And speaking of that, you guys can also like Real Talk and This and That on Facebook.
Yeah, why not?
We're kind of
The
in a
more the
call-
merrier.
I think we're like teaming up. We're like the Avengers of the Wire right now.
We,
Oh,
Exactly.
you're using the Avengers as a
Let's
positive.
Let's not
come
go there,
together.
please. Please. Okay, Jeremy. Another thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last week we weren't able to do our show, but I'm sure you heard. Leonard Nimoy. Just so sad. But do you have any memories of Mr. Spock or of Leonard Nimoy in general?
Honestly, I think I'm a little older for you listeners that don't know, but I didn't grow up in the original Star Trek era. Yeah, and Leonard Nimoy to me was always Spock, and he always will be. But when they introduced Zachary Quinto,
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? They couldn't have done any better. He fits the part perfect. It's a good segue into a new realm of the original Star Trek redone.
Mhm.
So I'm a fan of both Spocks all the way around. I can't sit there and say I can't dog Zachary out for what he does because
Oh,
he fits the part perfect.
Exactly.
But
Go
I
ahead.
will
Go ahead.
say the new Kirk, just to me, he don't do it for me.
Chris
Chris
Pine.
Pines.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little too in
Pretty
your face.
boyish, yeah.
What is it? Cocky. He's a little too cocky.
I agree. I mean, I feel like Chris Pines doesn't do a good job of William Shatner, and he should have. I mean, as much as that feels weird coming out of my mouth, but I feel like Chris Pine should have done a little bit better at being William Shatner, and I feel like the new Spock did Leonard Nimoy a lot of justice in the way he played the new character.
Yeah.
He didn't talk like this.
But I think that Zachary had the benefit of probably Spock coaching him early, because I heard William Shatner didn't even want to be involved with the first
Oh, really?
Star Trek. Yeah.
I'll take on Shatner. He's a really cool, mellow guy, and
Yeah, I know, but I don't think maybe he
didn't
wasn't
hear that.
asked to, but he wasn't on set or at all. I don't think so for the first Star
Yeah.
Trek movie. I mean, they might try to
It's
get him
probably
on.
because they didn't
But-
ask him to do the whole Mr. Spock.
it is a
'Cause-
shame that Leonard Nimoy passed away, man. Even though he was of age and he lived a full life, I still think it was too soon. whenever you become a legendary character, you know, in a series that basically will live on forever, you know, it's always too early.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Leonard Nimoy was 83.
I believe so.
That is correct.
And I can't remember his cause of death. What was the cause of death? Do you guys remember?
You know, I'm not even sure that I read it anywhere. But I imagine it's old age.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
he's old.
he was pretty
And that's
old.
the way to go, though.
Yeah, but is
That's the
there
way to
any? But is there anything else you remember from Leonard Nimoy besides Spock, or is that your definition of like Leonard Nimoy when you?
You know, that's my definition. I mean,
Yeah.
I see Spock anytime I see Leonard Nimoy, even when
Right.
he would do commercials and he would do certain spots here and there, appearances. You know, I seen him on the David Letterman show a while back, and to me, it was just like, you know, you're being Leonard Nimoy, be Spock.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And the thing I love about Leonard Nimoy is he owned up to it. He wasn't like that guy who was ashamed of the character he was 40 years ago. He owned it and he loved it. And you never got the sense he was bitter about being Spock, especially in these later years. He was always happy to, from everything I saw, he was always so happy to talk about it. But Jeremy, thank you so much for calling in today. And again, you have I know you have a show here with Keegan. But
he's my co-host. That's right.
Yeah, I
forgot
mean,
about that.
Keegan's kind of been like inconspicuously quiet over here.
He's waiting for you to make a bad move, and
But-
he's calling you out on it.
But we are kind of having a running competition for who can be the best guest. So Jeremy, we may have to come have you sit in here sometime, and
Definitely.
maybe here in the next few
definitely,
weeks we
man.
can get you in here, man.
So our second is going to do the show over spring break because, you know, this and that goes full force.
Right.
24/7.
Why not?
We may have to send in me or Joel in here to maybe.
I can make a return. I don't know.
Podcast.
Dedication, man.
Who knows?
Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for calling in today.
Hi guys, welcome back to Real Talk on the Wire, your student radio. We got a special guest calling in right now. His name is Chad Wesley. Chad, Chad, are you there?
Hello, this is Chad. Or as I would say, Ray. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Chad. How's things going out there today?
Oh, it's quite lovely, actually. We are here at OU, and I am engaged in the festivities. How are you gentlemen today?
Well, we're doing good here at the Wire. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for Joel and for Hayden, but hey, guys, how are y'all doing?
Man, Keegan really made me mad.
I hear you are talking about the Avengers.
I don't like Keegan.
I'm just gonna say this. Keegan went to the bathroom and he's kind of gone AWOL right now. So yeah, I was doing okay though until he left. So
Well, but Bane, what do you think of the Avengers?
now, I don't know who Chad is, but you're feeding this whole Bane thing,
Oh, Chad.
and that's his voice, and I
Yeah,
feel really
Chad,
bad.
Chad, we appreciate you being Bane, and I really love it because it definitely brings some perspective to our show. Now, I'm going to ask you a little bit. We talked about Batman earlier. What was your favorite Batman, Chad, or I mean Bane, or do you have a little favoritism towards the Dark Knight Rises since you were in that, or are you more of a?
Are you objective? Is what he's asking?
Yes.
I actually preferred TV's Adam West Batman from the 60s. He was very good. Him and Robin fought crime together. It was a good show. Yeah, I like that one.
Well, that's good. That's good. We really people don't appreciate the old Batman.
2 words: bat, phone.
Well, everything. He has the bat shark repellent.
I mean, it's.
I watched it.
I
was
like it. I
it's,
love
it's,
it.
It's almost cheesy for the the 80s or the 60s, but that's just kind of how the 60s were. But Joel, do you have anything you want to ask Chad or?
I think we were gonna ask him. What movie are you looking forward to this year? I know the Avengers are coming out. Are you excited for that, Bane? Obviously, you're taking a back seat this year.
Actually, I was not a fan of the Avengers, but I am looking forward to the Star Wars film.
Oh,
That new lightsaber looks quite cool. It is a cool lightsaber.
I'm just saying. Keegan and I side on this is getting heavier and heavier. You guys are definitely the minority on this thing.
I feel like this has been a little favor towards
yeah. But
I-
Keegan, I mean, ask Bane. How does he prefer to listen to our show? I mean, we have plenty of ways.
Yeah, Bane, do you listen to us like on the TuneIn app, or you listen to us on the Wire on thewire.ou.edu, or are you checking us out anywhere else?
I use the TuneIn app, but sometimes I go on livestream.com/thewire.ou. You can also watch the live stream on there.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us today, Chad. We really appreciate the call, or Bane, or whatever we want to call you. And you know what? Have a great day. Thanks, man. We appreciate you. Well, guys, that'll wrap up this segment for the Real Talk.
Well,
And-
actually,
Well, do we still? You wanna go a little bit more?
we got another segment coming up, like right now.
Oh, right now. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. I thought we were gonna do what we do with Hayden.
I
there,
make
so.
these schedules for this show.
Do I
You
sound
do
like
not
Bane?
appreciate my help.
I appreciate.
Yeah.
you,
Can you
sir.
plug in, Keegan? You just got back from the bathroom, right? Were you
Yeah,
at the
you're
bathroom?
back. You're
Hey,
back,
guys.
Keegan.
How was it? Did you guys get your guy to talk?
You won't believe
Oh,
who we
He
got
does
on
a
the
better
phone.
Bane than you do.
Who?
Chad Wesley,
Who's that?
my buddy. He called in and he does a way better Bane than you do.
I disagree, Mr. Gatlin.
Well, you sound. I don't know. It's pretty close. Pretty close.
I was born here.
All right, guys. So now we're done with that phone call. Let's head into some box office stuff that happened over the weekend. Are you guys ready for that?
Oh yeah, I love Boss.
A lot of
Bum,
movies.
bum, bum,
A
bum,
lot
bum,
of movies
bum,
came
bum,
out
bum.
this weekend. Not really, actually, but there's going to be some competition coming this week with the Liam Neeson movie and Cinderella. But before we go into a little bit of that, let's talk about what made 5. Remember, these numbers are from Rotten Tomatoes. And so number 5 movie for this weekend as far as box office goes, we have SpongeBob, Sponge Out of Water with $6.7 million. Like I said, guys, still top 5.
Are you ready, kids?
Still top 5.
No.
Aye,
Captain.
aye, Captain.
And Keegan, you're a fan of SpongeBob.
I
aren't you?
am a fan of the original,
SpongeBob, yeah.
They kind of took a turn after a few seasons, and it's gotten kind of weird
Yeah.
to me. But the Krusty Krab pizza
Is
is
the
the
pizza
pizza for you and me.
Pizza
The Krusty Krab, yeah, 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 yeah. Pizza is the pizza, yeah, yeah, for you and me.
I can't
That's
tell y'all how many
beautiful.
times I've been walking down the hallway at Gaylord, and then there just is this song coming down the hallway, and then there he
Like,
is.
who
There's
wonder
our-
who that is? Oh, it looks to be Keegan.
Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people, won't you listen
You know
to
what you need to
me?
have? You need to have a SpongeBob podcast.
I'm not going to do that.
I
We've
think
been
it'd be
petitioning
entertaining.
for
Maybe
months.
you and I could have a SpongeBob podcast.
For
like,
funs, for
we'll,
funsies.
we'll do like a fusion, this and that, real talk, SpongeBob edition or something like that.
Real this and that SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Bring it all together. All right, so heading on to number 4, we have Kingsman's Secret Service, $8.3 million.
It should be making that much money.
It should be making more. Yeah, it
'cause
should
it's
be making
awesome.
more because I thought it was good. Have
Hey,
you
if you
seen
gave me
Kingsman?
I have not, but it does look like an interesting film.
You'd like it.
It looks like a James Bond / Matrixy kind of.
It's kind of a
trick, I
comedy
don't know.
too. Yeah, it's got some comedy twist to it. Like
Well, I do like my comedies.
like Matthew Vaughn directed that movie. He also directed
Kick
X-Men First
A.
Class. And
Mm.
go ahead.
He directed, those Kick A movies, but you can say
Kick
Oh.
A.
Kick Ass. He
It's a
directed
movie
those.
title. You can get away with
Kick
it.
butt,
Kick
Yeah.
booty.
I don't know if did he do the second one too?
kick behind.
Nope, he did
I-
not.
I
I
say
think he stayed on as a
kick
producer,
bottom.
but obviously the second one wasn't
Yeah.
as
Kick
good because
took
Matthew Vaughn
us.
wasn't there. But let's go on to number 3. And this is a weird name. I mean, I tried to look up some information for this movie, but
Richard Gere is the only thing I know
it's
about it.
yeah, it's
Oh,
called.
it's Richard Gere.
It's
huh?
no,
Oh,
it is
yeah, I know about
called the second best exotic Marigold Hotel with 8.5 million dollars.
I thought it was a Wes Anderson film.
Yeah, what's
It
up with
sounds
all-
like a Wes Anderson
What's up
flick.
with all these titles?
But
like
I like it because I'm tired of one-worded
see,
movie
but
names.
like,
it's
but
so dull.
this
It's
feels
just-
trendy to me. Like if it needs a long
No, no.
title, go for it.
no movies. You always used to have long titles.
see,
I
but
feel
I,
like
I
E.T.,
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean then. I mean like even like earlier.
Jaws.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Is that?
That was a
yeah.
long one.
Oh.
Indiana Jones and the blah 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 blah.
I didn't see that one.
Star Wars. It's Empire Strikes Back.
Rambo, Rocky. They were
That's
gonna
when it
buy
started. That's when it started. I feel the 80s when they started that whole number, one worded movies.
One syllable.
Man, I'm losing it. And speaking of one worded movies, we have another one. Focus, $10 million. The one with Will Smith and Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie. An interesting thing is they're both going to be in the Suicide Squad movie for the DC animated unit for the DC movie universe. How do you feel about
I'm
it?
just a fan.
I watched this one animated movie for Disney that was basically the same thing. It was called Assault on Arkham. Oh, it was so gritty. It was so like
it was nitty gritty.
It was really gritty, just like a DC movie you expect on the flick. And I feel like bringing in these 2 stars would be cool. But as far as this movie goes, not interested. I'm not interested in Will Smith
Yeah, I
in a
don't
while.
see it. I don't see it either.
But it's making money.
I'm a Margot Robbie
it'll make
fan.
some money. I don't know if it was its. I think it's the second week.
What's she in?
She was in Wolf of Wall Street, and
She was
the other
amazing in
movie
Wolf of Wall
she was
Street.
in was About Time, which is a rom-com,
She was-
but it
But
was
her performance in Wolf of Wall Street got her that role in Suicide Squad. She's gonna be Harley Quinn.
No.
Yeah, and she perfected that accent in the Wolf of Wall Street. She had that New York kind of sweet Queen's accent.
Get out.
Yeah,
and she's Australian.
and she's Australian.
She's from
Yeah,
down under.
she's an Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Leave. This is insane.
All right, so moving on to number one. Number one for this week's box office is Chappie. This is a movie that opened up with Neil Blomkamp directing it, his 3rd flick, I believe, since District 9.
Yeah, it looks very District 9-esque.
Yeah.
But I feel I don't know. Did you guys see the movie?
No, I didn't
No.
watch it, but I know Hugh
I
Jackman's
heard it's
in it.
pretty bad.
Well,
Because it has these 2 main protagonists that are not even actors. They're like artists. They're like band artists. And I think Neil Blomkamp just puts these random people in it. But it's like, what happens? Like after each movie, it just got worse and worse. Because District 9 was awesome. But Elysium, this movie I heard is really bad. So I don't know what's going on with Neil Blomkamp. And he was also rumored to be the next director for an Alien movie.
Isn't Hugh Jackman in this film?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
he's
up
in
with him and like robots? Like,
Yeah,
Is it Real Steel?
Real Steel, yeah.
I thought this was a sequel when I saw the commercial at first. I was like, wait a second. I didn't see
Hey.
Real Steel. So.
Hey, Real Steel, Real Talk.
But what's his
we try
name?
to get that all in the same thing. So.
Let's get a crossover.
Funniest show on OU Student Radio.
You could
We have
Photoshop
to
your
be.
guys on the Real Steel cover and just put your faces on it and call it Real Talk.
Welcome to the first creative meeting of Real Talk. Keegan is
That's-
our chairman.
It's actually really creative of you to do. That's real creative.
I was just gonna say I
Made it
thought
in the show.
the name Chappie was really bad. I did not.
The
Why
the
would you-
voice?
Is it like a British English thing? Like
No,
like
it's South
buddy?
African.
It's okay, like buddy,
Yeah.
like it's Chappie. Is that how they say it over there? I don't know. I just
But what's the market?
is it international market here? Is that
I
where-
think
It's,
so,
it's
yeah.
gonna do well international. I feel obviously still,
But not in
it's doing well.
America.
But this is really low for number one in box office. Remember, 50 Shades of Grey made
I'd
like
take
70
13.3.
million.
What did I tell you last night when we text? I said
Chappie was like
let's
13.
talk about how there's nothing to watch
There's
at the
nothing.
movies.
It's a
It's a
very
bad-
bland
yeah.
March
Because
time.
it's right before the blockbuster flicks come out.
Well, summer blockbusters.
Summer
yeah.
blockbusters.
The
They
early
start
May.
earlier every year now. They
Yeah.
start like Batman Superman next year is gonna be in March.
Well, thank goodness.
It's so early for a
Star
blockbuster.
Wars is going to be
In December.
December.
For Christmas. What's a better Christmas gift than going to see Star Wars?
Like a new car.
Maybe.
Money, thousands of dollars.
$13.3
Right.
million
That
or 8.3. I really don't
or
care.
$1 million.
$17
Maybe
and
a
a coupon
crusty
to
crab
Qdoba.
pizza.
Is the pizza?
Okay. We're not gonna sing the
Sorry,
song
I
again.
was getting into it.
There's
The
a lot
one
of
thing I
things.
will say is, there's a movie coming out. There's like 2 of them that are coming out within the next week or 2 that look actually decent, and I wish I could think of them right now. And
I got one on the top of my head, and this will surprise you. Cinderella. It's got such good ratings.
What about Barbie's Pink World?
No, but I'm just so
3.
surprised by how good it's getting rated. I mean, Kate Blanchett's in it.
Kate
Richard
Blanchett's
Madden.
in it.
Richard Madden from Game of Thrones is gonna be in it.
Didn't
He's
he do,
playing
like-
Prince Charming, I
Well,
think.
they're gonna have good ratings because
Or
it's
Prince,
a
the Prince,
classic
whatever.
Disney film.
The
yeah.
Cobbler, the new Adam Sandler one.
But
That
it's-
actually looks good.
Adam Sandler has
It's-
gone downhill the
uh,
past
This
few
looks
years.
like
He's doing-
Click.
We'll talk some of his
Kinda-
comedy work later too. But
Mhm.
like I said, though, I mean, there's another movie coming out with Liam Neeson. I don't know what it's called. It's just like
Taken.
Taken.
It
It's
looks
Taken.
exact-
Run all
like
night.
Taken.
Run all night.
Yeah, it's like Taken.
I'm
Here's-
Liam Neeson. I was
And
awesome.
it's like a month after the
Well,
third Taken came out.
Here's the deal, guys. It feels like me like action stars are no longer like guys in their late 20s, early 30s, even 40s.
It's Liam Neeson.
You have to be like 55 and kind of an older actor.
Was it Jason Stratham?
Exactly.
Statham?
You have
Jason
to
Statham.
like
Yeah.
you have to be over 50 and had a career back in the 80s to be an action.
I mean,
hero.
heck, Arnold Schwarzenegger is back in the game.
I'm back.
But he's Arnold. He's
Arnold.
Why can everybody do my accent? I can't do that.
Okay, Insurgent. That's the other one. I don't want to see exactly.
Insurgent's this week?
But
What is
no,
that
that's
again?
next week.
Next week.
Which
okay.
one is that?
The one with Shailene Woodley.
The chick from
The Hunger Games.
From The
chick
Fault in
from
Our
that
Stars.
pregnant show on
No,
ABC
no,
Family.
she's from
What's
The
the
Fault in Our
movie
Stars.
about? I don't care about the people in
It's
it.
It's
like
like a Hunger Games type.
Divergent
It's
sequel.
another post-apocalyptic teen movie.
Like, okay,
It's
the
another
Hunger Games,
trilogy.
put it in a city with bowls.
Bowls?
Bowls or balls?
Bowls.
Bowls?
With an O.
I let you
W.
inspect your bowls.
Bowls.
With,
Your
a,
bowls.
with an O
I
W.
don't think there's enough cereal in this bowl.
You
That
know,
was a Pink Panther reference. Bowls.
I did.
Peter Sellers, right?
No.
I don't
No,
know.
it was
But go ahead, Hayden.
No, I was just gonna
Steve
say,
Martin.
Divergent, Insurgent. You know, I didn't dislike Divergent. I did not like it.
Oh,
But
I
what
didn't like
first?
it.
I mean, I did not like it.
I
I
did
I
did
did
not
not
like it.
not like it. But
That's like,
but here's the deal: if it
quadruple
had come
negative.
out 10 years ago, it would have been groundbreaking. It would have been cool. But it just feels like it's just part
Another
of this
part of a
trendy
teen.
thing. You know.
But
It's like,
here's the thing, though. I feel like that's gonna be around as long as superhero movies are a trend because
true.
that's like it's almost I don't want to say for like young adults because I'm pretty sure some people not in young adults like that movie.
old adults can like it too. We're not. If
But
you
I feel like
it,
but I
you're
feel like
old, it's
yeah
cool.
I feel like that range of moviegoers ranges to teen adults, you know, and whereas like a movie like a superhero movie, a little higher and a little lower with the younger kids and with the older people.
well, they're relatable too.
Yeah, some of them are, but they can't relate to Shailene Woodley's character.
I mean, that's
or,
just,
or even Katniss, but I still like watching the movie.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the
I
thing
related
is,
to Katniss.
it's you.
I
You have to
like
watch them
Katniss.
just to understand why
Oh, no,
everyone else likes them, just to kind of see. Like that's how I was with the Hunger Games. I'm not a huge Hunger Games guy, but I will watch those movies.
Right, I'm gonna watch the last
Have
one
you
too.
seen Battle Royale?
Yes, I have on Netflix.
Oh man, I thought Hunger Games was really cool. I watched Battle Royale, which is like there's a discrepancy going on that the person who wrote the Hunger Games kind of stole the idea from this Japanese author who wrote this book. Same storyline almost, but except everybody knows each other. They
Yeah.
have to kill each other. Wow, it was graphic.
Hello, hey man, what's your name? Yeah, I'm Doug.
Hello, Doug.
Hey, yeah, what's going on, guys?
All right. Hey, Doug. Are you a fan of movies?
Oh yeah, I've watched a few.
Oh, you watched a few. All right. So before we, thanks for listening in, Oswald. Are you a listener into anything here in the Wire?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Tell me like the TuneIn app. Search your student radio.
That is the TuneIn app. Search up your.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yeah, we're still on, right? You're still here. Please
Oh, wait.
talk to me, buddy. Talk to me.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to you. I'm really happy to be talking to you guys.
You sound like a funny man. Are you a fan of comedies?
Well, I guess I watched a few of those in my day too. My
Do you-
favorite would probably have to be I like that Adam Sandler film. You don't mess with the
Zohan?
Zumba. Is that what it is?
Zumba?
Zumba.
Zumba? I don't know, man. Don't mess with the I think it was Zohan.
Zohan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the girl that played in The Parent Trap.
Yeah. I think I remember.
Lindsay Zohan. Is that right?
Lindsay Lohan's? Is that what you
You
said?
don't mess with the Lindsay Zohan. Is that how that goes?
I don't know, maybe. Possibly. But you said you're a fan of that movie. Can you name me one of your favorite moments in that movie?
I like the scene where the Adam Sandler's got a hair dryer. That's my favorite scene.
Oh, yeah. My favorite part was whenever he had somebody like look at his feet and kiss it and then he kicked him with it. Remember that part?
Oh, I like that part too. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, definitely a funny movie. Right, guys? I think we can agree it's a pretty funny movie. I mean, Keegan's already laughing over here, so he's kind of...
It's just so funny.
It is a very funny movie.
I like it when he catches the fish between his buttocks.
That's an interesting picture in my head now. But, what was your name again, buddy?
My name was Doug.
Doug? Oh, okay, Doug. Thank you for calling in, man. You're a big help. And while you're at it, please tell all your friends about our page. And don't forget also, how do you listen to our show again? Do you prefer listening us on thewire.ou.edu or do you listen through a TuneIn app?
I usually just hang out around the studio and stick my ear in and try to listen live. I feel like it's more authentic.
Yeah, does this
that way? You know what I'm saying?
This sounds interesting. But thanks for joining us.
Man, you the real MVP. Thanks for calling in. All right, guys, that was an interesting scenario. Keegan, you're laughing, buddy. What's so funny?
I don't know. That guy
Hey,
just
there's
seemed like
Hayden.
a funny guy. Oh, here
There's
comes
Hayden.
Hayden.
Here comes the pain. Here comes the pain. But we were playing the OU theme song earlier, as you guys were hearing. You know, big fan of OU. We're all part of wonderful university here at Oklahoma. You know, big fans. I'm also a big fan of that song. It's a very good theme song. I know Hayden has some resentment towards it being an Oklahoma State fan.
You just missed an interesting call, Hayden.
You missed a very interesting
Oh,
call.
well, you were there, but
I was there. Yeah, Doug.
But tell me, buddy. You're a fan of the OU theme chant going on?
Okay. Well, I'm afraid to start talking like this, seeing how it is the University of Oklahoma. But I will say this: I knew a guy who grew up an Oklahoma State fan.
Yeah.
Never thought he'd go to OU. Always thought he was going to OSU, and he kind of ended up at the University of Oklahoma. They had the degree program he wanted. He loved the facilities. And now he kind of likes it here. So.
Oh, this friend of yours.
Yeah, this friend of mine. He's
what's his name?
His name is
Doug.
Keegan.
Doug?
Yeah.
Wait,
Doug.
wait. Did you see a guy?
It's a
walk?
totally different Doug. No.
Oh, dang it! I was really excited. 'Cause I
No,
thought we were
no.
gonna make a connection. It would be cool if we have him in the studio.
No.
but
Yeah, I could bring Doug
maybe
in
we can find him
sometime.
somewhere else. But guys, let's talk comedies. Let's have some
Comedies.
fun. Let's laugh in here. You know.
I love comedies.
Let's let
Like
the.
we don't. Yeah, we never laugh until this segment.
We
This
are
is the
very
only
serious.
segment
This
we're
is our
allowed to laugh
last
in.
segment.
very-
This is gonna be our
very
last
serious
segment.
Don't say that,
show.
Joel. Now I'm crying.
It's real talk.
I'm always crying.
literally.
It's gonna get real funny. Real funny. All right, I have a top 5 list. Gatlin, do you have a top 5 list?
I always have a top 5 list.
Hayden Hefner,
I got a top 1. I'm sticking with it.
Keegan.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm asking.
See
if
what
you
my
have
rebellion
one.
started here?
Did I say you have to have one?
I have one.
All right, good. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're probably gonna just go through through Keegan's, Gatlin's, and my own top 4, and whenever we get to that number 1, then we'll let Hayden enter the battle of the best comedies. But let's start off our number 5 list. Gatlin, would you like to go first?
I'll go first, even though you did say Keegan. I will take my number 5, comedy of all time. I looked this up earlier because I had a solid top 3. I have a pretty good 4th one, and I decided, you know what, 5th movie that makes me laugh, I can always have fun with, is the 1976 Bad News Bears.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Bears.
That is,
You could take this trophy and shove it right up your butt.
Timmy Lupus, and then you got Tanner Boyle, I believe, and you can't beat Walter Matthau. Walter Matthau is one of the best old comedians of all time, and that's my number 5.
That's a good one.
My friend Keegan.
Mine is kind of like a collage. I had to pick one out of this large group of movies, but I'm a big fan of the Marx Brothers. I don't know if you're familiar with the old classic comedy.
Like Carl?
No, not those.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but
Like-
not like that, you know?
Like if you're communist, we're not communists.
I am challenged.
That's true.
I am
Gatlin,
really-
on the other hand.
I'm really questioning your movie intelligence right now. I'm kidding. I'm
Das
kidding.
Kapital was a great film.
Yeah, it was Groucho, Harpo, and
Yeah.
Groucho, Harpo,
Yeah.
and what's the other guy's name? There's Zippo and Groucho, Harpo.
I can't remember. I think Gatlin's looking it up right now.
I'm looking
Groucho,
We're
Harpo.
looking
Well, anyway,
right
it's
now.
Marx
Harpo.
Brothers Night in Casablanca. That was a really good one.
Ooh, that's going.
That's an old, like late 30s, early 40s
It was
film.
during
Chico.
World War before or during
Chico
World War.
Marx.
Chico
There you
Marx.
go. That's a good
one,
name.
Yeah. Chico. All right, so I'm next. I'm gonna go with an '80s movie. Then I feel like '80s movies were, most movies that at the time they weren't labeled as comedies, but they were still funny. I feel like one that was labeled as a comedy and was really funny was Ghostbusters. And the theme, man. I mean, you gotta love Bill Murray. Bill Murray's the man.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray was in a great team.
Yeah, and it's
Sad that they won't work together.
Yeah, it's just
Harold
a shame.
Ramis
It's
passed
funny.
away,
And I know
rest in
they're
peace.
gonna make a new Ghostbusters movie with an all female cast, but man,
No, it's
They're not doing that
no,
anymore.
They're not doing
it's
that
now
anymore?
all men again. but they-
What?
yeah.
That's interesting. Oh well. Regardless, though, I think you should let the franchise be what it used to be. Just let it be fun. Let it be exciting. Let it just be. I know it's a little silly, hunting ghosts down, but it was really fun and filmed for its time. But that's just my number 5. Gatlin, what do you got for 4?
For Ushta, as we say in Choctaw. Ushta.
Hey, I'm from Choctaw,
Ushta.
sort of.
Really?
Well, my family lives there.
Okay.
from
All right. Well, I'm
Anchorage.
talking about the Choctaw language of the native tribe.
I thought about the town.
You're good, man.
The
My
Town,
number
that's a good
4.
movie.
My number 4 comedy of all time. It's a classic. My dad showed it to me when I was about 17 years old.
Mm.
I knew about it beforehand, and it has one of the great comedians in it of all time, John Belushi. And I'm gonna go with Animal
That's a
House.
great movie.
Oh, wow.
Hey guys, what does this look like?
I'm a zit.
That's it. Get it?
And
That's a classic.
what year was it
It's
again?
1978 or 70.
Yeah, that's when
70s.
the whole '80s thing was starting to take round, and you started to see more comedies like that. But yeah,
That was the first of its kind. Like
first of
that,
its kind. Yeah, yeah. That was it was beginning. It was all starting up, but yeah, interesting fourth.
That's a
Keegan?
good one.
Thank you.
Mine is a classic from the early '80s. It's a Mel Brooks film, History of the World Part 1.
Mel Brooks, man.
Oh,
It's funny.
I love Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is one of the most. He's gifted. He has one of the best satires and parodies of all movies.
Yeah, I can.
He makes Spaceballs, Blazing Saddles,
Oh yeah, Spaceballs.
High Anxiety. The producers, all those movies, but History of the World Part 1 is the one that sticks to me the most.
Robin Hood Men in
Helmets.
Tights.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah. I think it's mine.
Comedic genius.
He
I
is.
think
Mel
my
Brooks.
favorite Mel Brooks still has to be Spaceballs. Dark Helmet. That was the-
Yogurt.
Hey, I watched The
Yogurt.
Producers the other day for the first time, the old one.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
All right.
Springtime for Hitler and Germany.
Yes. All right.
What's
So
yours, Joel? What's your
my
fourth?
number 4
comedy?
movie. This is one of those high school movies, but I feel like this movie was one of the very original ones to do it. When that was American Pie.
Oh yeah.
I found it hilarious.
I've
the
only
first time
seen
I
the
wa-
reunion.
The reunion. Yeah,
It
but
made
I
no sense to
the
me.
first one was very funny. There's so many funny jokes in there. I mean,
Stifler.
Stifler's the man. But there's so many funny moments in that movie, and obviously it's a high school teen movie, but like in a comedy way, where all these guys just they're just going through high school trying to
Well, you see guys
trying to
making a pact.
graduate at the top. Trying to graduate at the top. They're all
Go out
like
with a bang.
yeah, they're all going out with the bang, and you see all of them make their different journeys. Some of them, like, there's a jock character in there that ends up being a very sensitive guy, but he was still, his character change was still interesting, and I still found that Stifler was the funniest character in that, and even all the other sequels, I still found parts about it funny. And even though the American Pie had like 20 sequels, I never watched
Only
any.
4.
I never watched any of those actuals like spin-off sequels, but the original American Pie, man, I just found it hilarious.
They were good. They were all good.
Yeah.
I'll say like at the wedding one they were kind of pushing it a little much.
Yeah,
But the reunion actually
they were trying to revisit some of the
I
funny
feel
stuff.
like they fixed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
That's a great pick for fourth. I'd totally forgotten about the American Pie.
Yeah, it was like 99.
99.
Wow,
Right there.
right before the 2000s.
Y2K. My third one is actually not a classic. It is a classic, but it's more modern.
Yeah.
It's got the great all-star cast of Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. I wore
was
the
it back when he
shirt
was
I
last
had this
show.
in my top 5.
What was he back?
Dodgeball.
It was
Yeah,
back
a
when
true
he was funny.
underdog story. It's a classic, dude. White Goodman versus
Man, that was so funny.
the average Joe.
If you play that movie on DVD and you press the enter button when White Goodman snaps his fingers, it'll take you to a deleted scene every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's a little
funny.
Easter egg for you guys.
Hey, you know what? With the
Nobody makes me bleed my own
the
blood.
blood.
Nobody.
Eric Goodman coming at you.
Yeah, and,
philosophizer.
and that was like the last time I found Vince Vaughn.
Lance
Oh,
Armstrong
it's-
makes a great
It's
cameo.
a great. It's a very quotable comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the funniest comedies can be the ones you quote. Like there's so many quotes.
That
from-
one had instant
from
quotes.
so many quotes. Like Step Brothers,
Steve
another
the
one.
Pirate.
There's so many type of comedies out there that you memorize by quotes. But Keegan,
Actually, mine was Dodgeball too.
yours was dodgeball. All right,
Yes.
more
We agreed
dodgeball.
on something.
I have a sensitive side to where when I was playing dodgeball, I always get hit. So I don't know.
I love Dodgeball as a
Me
kid.
too.
I love dodgeball actually. Yeah, I
Very
really did. I
intimidating.
found it really fun. But
I feel like Hayden's all alone over there.
Hayden!
Hey,
I'm
wait,
on-
This
Do you like-
girl's taking photos of us, guys.
No.
Get out of here.
no, she's actually supposed to be here.
If you do take a picture, though, you can post it on our Facebook page. Real Talk.
Yeah, don't be ashamed to go on our
Is
page.
she
and
listening
like,
to us right now?
no.
She said she is. She's
Oh, she's listening in. Oh, that's awesome.
Do you have her headphones
See, we're
in?
expanding.
I
out
wonder if
there.
she's listening on TuneIn. You can listen on that on your
You
Android
can
or
listen
Apple
to
device.
TuneIn app
Just
whenever
search
you can't get
scared.
Your
download
student
that
radio.
on your iPhone or Android.
leave us alone, lady.
your Android device.
Go away.
She's laughing out
voice.
there. All
I'm
right,
serious.
All right.
Go
all right. Can you hit her? Are you gonna
away.
hit her with the dodgeball, Keegan?
No, I'll hit her with a wrench if she doesn't
That-
go away.
wow.
I'm
Dodge
just
a
kidding,
wrench?
I'm just
Wow,
kidding. I'm gonna
Keegan.
get the wrench.
Wow, we do not.
Hey,
condone
hey,
violence.
Keegan, what's the 5 Ds of dodgeball?
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and
Repeat.
dodge. This is Patches O'Houlihan.
Repeat. All right, my number 3. Wait, yeah, yours was dodgeball. All right,
Yeah, mine
my
was
number
dodgeball.
3. It's kind of recent, pretty recent. I mean, I don't think it's that recent, but it's another one of those high school flicks where guys have a certain goal to get to it by the end of the movie, and it's a Seth Rogen comedy. I feel like it's his best comedy because he wrote this when he was 13 years old, and that's Superbad.
Oh wow.
Really funny
was a
funny
great
movie.
movie.
McLovin, yeah. He like it was funny. There's so many jokes that on him alone that just made the movie so funny. His character was just so funny through everything he was going through. He was like stumbling about, just one of those nerdy characters that was like out of the group, out of the clan, just trying to be like toughest guy. But it's just so funny to see that happen. And then Michael Cera is obviously one of his breakout movies. Emma Stone was in this movie.
Her first big
breakout role. This was her first role. Seth Rogen was also in it. Bill Hader was in it too. Funny
Jonah
cast.
Hill.
Just a funny cast.
His
All
Fat
the way up
Days.
and down. All the way up and down. Just a funny movie.
My
And
favorite scene in that movie is when he's singing the Guess Who. These eyes.
And he's singing it so badly. Yeah.
Cry every night for you. These are lessons on me. Yeah. I will never be free. No, baby, no. You made a promise to me. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
You've been listening to the sights and sounds of Keegan Meenagh.
All right, Gatlin, buddy, you're next.
All right, my number 2. I couldn't, I had to debate because I had it in my top 5. We talked about our top 5 movies of all time.
Right.
And I had a comedy in there.
You had to have one, yes.
And this one could be 1 or 2. It is a classic amongst the world.
Okay.
You all know him as Monty Python's
Oh
The
gosh.
Holy Grail.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I love that movie. I mean, there's so many quotes in it.
There's so many. What is your name?
We
What
are the
is
knights
your
that
favorite
say me.
color? I love the bridge.
Can a
scene.
10 pounds?
Hayden, you haven't seen it, have you?
Can a 10 pounds
I think you've
swallow?
seen it. I think David, our friend David, shown us.
We are
it.
the knights that say,
I've seen
She's a
snippets and
witch.
clips. Is that
It's hilarious, man. It's just a nice parody. The way he like walks about, he's like,
I have a question. Can a 5-pound swallow carry a 10-pound coconut?
African or European?
Wait, I don't know.
wait.
Oh! She's got huge tracts of land. What the curtains?
Oh,
I
man.
love that movie.
When
another
Lancelot
classic.
That's a
kills
classic.
all the
And
wedding
it gets
guests.
better and better
every time you watch it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's one of those movies that just ages
It's
well.
funny because if you watch anything else from them, it's so weird. It makes no
Yeah.
sense. That was the one thing that actually
It
was
stands
funny.
out so much. It's such a nice satire to what they
The
actually
Life
do.
of Brian.
But Keegan, you have number 2.
My name is Major Benson Winifred Payne.
Oh yeah.
As of 0800, I will be replacing Major Frankfurt as your new commanding officer. Major Payne is one of my favorite movies. What's funny about it is it's not like dirty, but it's hilarious. It's like a
What year is it?
It's like a
95.
early 90 mid 90s
Yeah.
film. It had the
Wayans.
Wayans brothers.
Ah, yeah, the Wayne brothers. They were so funny.
Orlando Brown was a little kid who played That's So Raven later on, but that movie, The Little Engine That Could, that's when Charlie came crossing over the trestle, and bang, and an explosion. His legs were flipping.
They also did White Chicks, didn't they?
That was
The
the
Wayans
younger.
brothers,
That was
that was
Marlon
a
and
younger one.
the other one. But Damon was this the older brother.
there's more
Yeah.
than 2?
Yeah,
there's like
there's
75.
yeah, there's
Well,
so many.
they had the show In Living Color, and
Yeah.
it was written by
Living.
the oldest.
And
Oh,
one of
wow.
their sons was in Glee, not Glee, New Girl. New
yeah,
Girl.
he is.
Yeah,
that is Major Payne's.
Major.
Yeah, I'm
Watch
getting
my-
violent over here.
Watch my
That's-
microphone.
That's Major Payne's.
Don't touch my microphone. It's
That's
mine.
Major Payne's son.
Is the microphone's power.
That's awesome.
All right, so this is my number 2. I
Number
mean,
2.
I'm gonna be beating a dead horse here, but it's Monty Python. Man, Holy Grail.
I know, like
Holy
I had
was so hilarious.
Dodgeball, and it's almost like we know.
But it's one of those comedies that is just like so different than all the other ones you've seen. It just, when you think comedy, it's like, oh yeah, duh. It's one of those comedies that you just can't, keep out of your head. And every once in a while, I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I remember the first time I watched it, I was pretty young, but I was like, eh.
Hey,
I
Joe.
didn't get the humor of it early.
I
on
didn't
in my
either.
life. It was
as much.
It's more for that British. It's
like
more
a-
that British wit
Hey, Joel.
in comedy.
You know what time it is?
What time is
It's
it?
time for number 1.
Is it?
Wait, no, he hasn't gone yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
did my number 2.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was Monty
Preemptive,
Python and the
preemptive.
Holy
I
It's
stole yours.
almost time.
I stole yours. All right, let's do a drum roll.
Drum roll for number 2.
All right, number 1. And Hayden's gonna enter the party, but he's.
Oh,
gonna
is
be-
it number 1?
It's
Is it?
number 1, but you're not gonna go until you're last. So you're gonna wait.
I'm not gonna.
before.
Okay.
You're gonna be
I'll wait.
last.
I'll wait. It's
Alright.
worth it.
So we're just building the anticipation.
Hey,
for your movie.
build it up. Build it
Yeah,
up.
building
It's
up the
worth it.
anticipation. All right.
All right, my number 1, and y'all you already know it's coming. You already know it's coming. Keegan may not know, but he did listen to the first show. It's Mel Brooks' classic, Blazing Saddles. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes, it has some controversial things today.
It's
but
twoo,
at the time,
it's twoo.
it's twoo, it's twoo. You know, and I just that is to me that I can watch that movie all the time. I can quote it. I mean, it is just one of those movies that never gets old. And it was been on ABC Family before. I mean, they definitely take that parts out.
Yeah, Mel Brooks managed a lot of that stuff. Cannot fly by in this modern day age.
Oh no.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
but the way it was he almost did it in a way it was it's weird to say, but it was tasteful, and people didn't get up and roar about it because they knew it was for
Like you could taste
it
it,
was
you
co-
could smell it.
it was for comedic reasons. But yes, that is my number one. Blazing Saddles. There's nothing that can sway how I think. That is number one in my book and always will be.
All right, we're gonna go road all the way down here to Hayden, so I'm gonna go ahead and go next. So my number one movie, man, I rip on this guy so much, Adam Sandler. I mean, for his recent movies, he's just so lazy, and really, just feel like it's like fast food comedy. It just comes through like out of nowhere, spends like a week filming it, no effort, but when he does do effort, it's hilarious. And I find that The Waterboy was in
That's a
fact
good one.
the
Bobby
funniest movie
Boucher.
I have ever seen, because I feel like you can take the quotes in that movie and put them like in any real situation, really. It's like my mama said, my mama said,
Gatorade.
H2O.
H2O.
Water sucks.
It really sucks.
Water
Water
you
sucks.
horrible people.
Thank
My
you all.
mama said alligators mean because they
got no teeth
but no toothbrush.
Adam Sandler.
Mama is wrong.
I just look at that
Colonel
movie.
Sanders, you're wrong.
No, Colonel Sanders. Mama wrong again. That was so funny. But I mean, it's so hilarious for like complete opposite reasons why I like a movie. It's like it's raunch. It's not raunchy, but it's just an absolute crazy movie with so many quotes in there. It's something that I just wouldn't like really in other movies, but for some reason it works in The Waterboy because it's Adam Sandler.
It's kind of like the Birdman. It wins because it's different.
Yeah, but it's just funny to me, and it just remains funny to me. And every time I watch it, I can always go through and like go along with the movie in the quotes. I like movies that do that. So Keegan, you're number one.
If you guys have seen this movie, I'm gonna say a quote from this movie, and if one of you guys knows what it is, I'm gonna high five you. My name's Betty. No one's seen Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Oh yes, I haven't seen that movie forever. Oh
That is my
gosh.
favorite movie. What's so cool about it is, it's a 1970s kung fu film, a Chinese kung fu film, where they digitally animated this guy into the film, and then they dubbed the whole film as a comedy, and it is the funniest movie I've ever
Is
seen.
that Kevin Neal in that?
That
Or
was
no, what's
Ken
his-
Odenkirk.
Ken Odenkirk. Gosh, yes.
Odenkirk.
That and when,
Master Payne's in town.
when that punch goes, I laughed so hard when I was a kid when that punch
When he
goes.
punched the guy in the
Is
stomach.
he related to Bob Odenkirk?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, he
That's
is.
a good thing. That's a
But
good
Kung Pao is, I've never laughed so hard. Everything in the movie is quotable. Everything in the movie is
I
hilarious.
think I remember this movie.
We
What year
have to-
was it?
It's like 2002.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I remember.
It's just him. He's the only actor in the movie. Everybody else, they put him in a room with a blue screen, and he gets digitally animated into this film.
Mhm.
That's funny.
And then he's all the dubbed voices. He's all the except one. He's every dubbed voice, and he does like the bad guys' voices, and he's like, "Your days are over, Mister."
Yeah, check this out.
It's like MXC. If you ever watched MXC on Spike, it's just like that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah, here we
Is it-
go.
Is it your turn to talk?
Wait.
It's ready.
Does Hayden have one?
Drum
I don't
roll?
know if he has one actually.
I'm not passing this time.
All right.
All right, we got Hayden.
Finally,
is a-
Hayden gets to speak his mind about his favorite comedy.
Okay,
Hayden Hefner.
it's a foreign film. You guys may not have seen it.
Aw,
It's
man.
called Nacho Libre.
Oh!
I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's
A nice pile drive to
no,
the
the
face, or punch to the
Nacho.
face.
I know. It's not very. It's not
When
very
you are a man,
class.
you wear stretchy pants.
It's
It's for fun.
Hey Chancho, I need to borrow some suede.
My brother's nickname is Chancho.
That's
and
awesome.
When I go over the house, I'm like, Chancho. He's like, what? I'm like, I need to borrow some sweat.
I saw you from the village. This is the worst salad I have ever had.
Your only job is to cook.
He gave me no
Do you not
superpowers.
realize-
They gave me no nutrients.
You're crazy. Oh man, but Nacho Libre. It's another comedy movie that just sometimes it flies over my head, but it's so hilarious.
I'm not a Jack Black fan, but in that instance,
Oh, and I am too. But I
Right.
I was like, can he really pull off a Mexican? But he did.
Come on,
Ignacio.
don't be crazy. Don't be.
or
Don't be
nachos?
crazy. I am. I am.
The little kid in that movie, the little fat,
Chancho?
Yeah, he cracks me up. dude.
I look
He's like, are you
hideous.
leaving us?
I ate some bugs. I ate some grass. I used my hands to wipe my
Now,
tears.
what's that corn? What is the corn?
Hey,
corn in
send
the
me a
eye
piece
thing?
of that
Yeah,
corn.
hey, send me some of that
Send me
corn.
that
Hey,
piece
Get
of
that corn out of my
corn.
face.
I've always thought that looks really delicious.
It
I
does.
just never know what it is. That's all.
Inside the heart, you find the
And then-
man. Inside the man, you find his nucleus.
And then he goes up to Nacho. He's like, surprise! Get that corn out of my face!
Where were you last night, Steven?
What took you so long?
Why don't you invite her to our next wrestling match? That is a funny movie.
I love it.
And I love
too.
the fact that they use just like it
And I
feels
should
like
love
they
it
use
'cause it's
random people
wrestling.
off the street as the extras. So like the guy who like announces his fight, like he awkwardly like looks at the camera and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it fits. I love it. I think Jack Black was the only guy they paid on that whole film.
And I should love this stuff because I'm a fan of wrestling. Wrestling, not lucha libre. Lucha libre.
You like Ready to
listen,
Rumble?
Listen to Nacho. Listen to what?
Ready to Rumble? You ever seen that with David Arquette and
No, I
Scott
haven't
Conn?
actually. I remember though
Good
because
comedy.
I remember that movie was being advertised because he was actually put in a wrestling program, WCW, and they gave him the world championship just to advertise that movie. And that was whenever they were going downhill, and now they're out of business, obviously. But I'm just
Joe
like,
and the wrestling. It makes its way up into
I'm just
every
like David Arquette,
show.
WCW fan. I mean WCW.
Because Ramses, he no dances.
But yeah,
parties.
but Nacho Libre, man.
Great pick.
Ramses is the best.
It's
He gets
funny,
the people all excited.
Nacho Libre is the best, according to Hayden. But man, guys, has it been an exciting show?
Oh man, I'm so glad.
So
you
many
came.
phone
been
calls,
awesome.
so many funny things.
I think
Obviously,
there's talk that Keegan may be replacing me next week.
Yeah.
we got
permanently.
I'm thinking about it, Hayden.
Just put my
No.
face, just the
Thinking
face
Hey,
on his.
I won't let
picture
Just
you
on
give me a
it.
better beard and I'd look like Keegan.
It don't matter because both of you don't like the Avengers, so
Maybe we'll start our own show called Anti-Avengers.
With Jeremy. Jeremy will be kind
The
of like
anti-
AA
Avengers.
meeting. Oh snap!
the house.
Ramses, he no dances. He no dances at the party.
This is the worst meal I have ever had in my
Your only
entire
job
life.
is do you not realize I've had
since Easter.
Did you tell them these were the Lord's chips?
I tried to. You are useless, Ignacio.
Maybe cleaning duty, dead guy duty. Maybe I need some more duties.
She had a lush garden and a
And a
beautiful
woman.
wife.
And
A beautiful woman.
collection
He's
of
my
rusty
mother's Loki
nesting.
Mochete.
Would you like to join me in my quarters for some toast?
For some I like the way he said it too. It's like for
I
some
love when he sneaks
toast.
up on
And he farts,
and
yeah.
he farts. He's like,
I'm like, they do so many
but my
fart
favorite
things.
thing is when he eats the egg and then he turns
then
around
just
real
like
awkwardly.
And then it's another
and
fart.
He dives into the pool. That's a funny movie. I don't care. I know people who hate Jack Black and hate that movie. I'm like,
Oh, it's
you're
awesome.
not
Funny.
American.
No,
it's
it's-
just so funny.
It's good. I love
All right,
it.
guys. Well, that was our show this week. I would like to thank Keegan for joining us. And Keegan, let the good people know when you're on the wire.
We're on this Friday from 1 to 3 on This and That on the Wire, your student
And-
radio.
And that is not and, it is the N.
So
cannot stress that
Facebook.com
enough.
/ This and That Wire.
And you can
This and
you
That.
can also listen on your Android device.
The Voice.
The
Anytime
voice.
you want
Yeah.
to.
The voice.
That's right. The voice.
You know
The
why?
Voice.
You know why? Because Ramses, he no dances at the party.
This is the worst show I have ever had.
Keegan, thank you, dude. You've been awesome. man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right,
It's fun.
guys, that was our show. Thanks for listening in. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share all our information. We're on Twitter as well. Go ahead and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. It's beautiful out there in the weather, guys. Go enjoy it. If you live in Oklahoma, if you don't live in Oklahoma, then hopefully it's nice over there. But this has been Real Talk here on The Wire, OU Student Radio.
Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy.